Welcome to The Explainer. In Paulo Coelho's incredible book, The Alchemist, our hero discovers something huge. He learns that the biggest secrets of the universe, they're not locked away in some dusty old books. Nope, they're written all around us, in what he calls the language of the world. And today, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to decode that language.
So, at the very center of this whole journey is the search for something called the masterwork. And look, this isn't just some get-rich-quick scheme about turning lead into gold. It goes so much deeper than that. It's about tapping into the fundamental language of the universe, what the book calls the soul of the world.
All right, so what is this masterwork anyway? Well, it's actually made of two legendary parts, and each one has its own incredible, almost magical power. You see, alchemy offers this two-for-one deal, right? On one side, you've got the elixir of life. That's the liquid part, and it's said to grant you physical immortality. Cure all illnesses, stop aging, the whole deal. Then on the other side, you have the philosopher's stone. And yeah, it can turn metal into gold, but that's almost a side effect. Its real purpose is spiritual purification. So the ultimate goal here, it's about changing yourself on the outside and the inside.
Okay, but how in the world do you actually do this? How do you create the masterwork? Well, this is where things get interesting, because our hero, the boy, and his travel buddy, the Englishman, they have totally different answers to that question.
And this right here, this is the core conflict of the story. You've got the Englishman who's convinced the secret is buried in these super complex ancient books. He's all about rigid discipline, and he's terrified of making a mistake. But then you have the boy. He's starting to realize that real alchemy, real magic, is in the simple stuff. Cleaning crystals in a shop, watching his sheep, and learning to read the omens all around him. He's all about simplicity.
So after the boy gives the Englishman's crazy dense books a shot, this is what he comes up with. And you could just imagine the look on the Englishman's face, right? The guy spent years of his life on this research, and this kid just says, nah, it's simple. It really shows the boy's whole perspective. The universe isn't some complex puzzle to be solved, it's actually beautiful in its simplicity.
All right, so now the caravan is deep in the desert, and there's this growing threat of a tribal war. It's a tense situation, and it's right here, surrounded by danger, that the boy learns one of the most important lessons of his life. And you know who teaches him? Not some wise old alchemist, but a camel driver.
And the camel driver's philosophy, man, it's so simple it's almost revolutionary. He basically says, stop living in the past or worrying about the future. Just focus on right now, on the present. He tells the boy that if you can truly do that, your life becomes this grand festival, even when you're literally in the middle of a dangerous desert.
And just like that, this abstract idea becomes completely, tangibly real. I mean, think about it. After weeks of nothing but sand and fear, they see the oasis. That sight is the festival. It's shade, it's water, it's safety. It's the present moment showing up as an absolute miracle. The world is speaking to him. And the boy, he's finally learning how to listen.
But here's the catch. The oasis isn't just a sanctuary. It's also kind of a prison. Because of the war, the caravan is stuck there for who knows how long. So this safe haven quickly becomes a big test of patience and willpower for everyone.
As they get to the oasis, which is neutral territory, everyone has to give up their weapons. And the Englishman hands over his revolver with this really telling comment. His sense of trust in other people literally comes from having a tool of defense. It's such a huge contrast with the boy, right? The boy is learning to put his trust in science, in omens, in the universe itself.
So while the Englishman is running around totally focused on finding the alchemist, the boy is about to discover a completely different kind of magic, and it happens at the most ordinary place, a well. But this moment, it's going to change his entire journey and his whole understanding of the world.
This moment is everything. After all this talk about alchemy, secret codes, and the philosopher's stone, the boy finally discovers the real universal language, and he finds it in a single glance. It's not written down, you can't find it in a book, it's a feeling, a connection that doesn't need a single word. It's love.
And right in that instant, as he feels this powerful connection, one single word pops into his head, maktub. It's an Arabic word that means it is written. And he just knows, deep down, that this wasn't just a random meeting. It was destiny. It was meant to be.
But here's what makes their love so incredible. Fatima gets it. She understands his dream, his personal legend. She doesn't say, hey, forget your treasure, stay here with me. No way.
She actually encourages him to keep going, to pursue his dream. She has this profound faith that if their love is real, if it's truly Maktub, he'll come back. She sees herself as part of his journey, not a roadblock.
And this idea of a love that doesn't try to possess you, it's completely liberating for the boy. So he turns his attention back to the desert, but now he's looking at it with new eyes, with a new understanding. And because of that, he's about to see something truly extraordinary. So he's not just passively waiting for signs anymore. He's actively trying to connect with the soul of the world. He's watching these two hawks circle in the sky, and he's trying to read their flight, hoping they can show him the meaning of this love without ownership. He's putting what he's learned into practice right then and there.
So he's just watching, trying to understand, and in that quiet moment of pure concentration, something happens. Something breaks through from the other side, from beyond just the ordinary world.
And boom, he gets a vision. It's crystal clear and it's terrifying. An entire army, swords drawn, riding straight into the oasis. It's a vision of complete disaster, a violation of this sacred neutral ground.
So now he has a choice, right? This is the big test. Was that just a mirage, a trick of the desert sun, or was it a real message from the soul of the world, an omen that he absolutely has to act on?
And then he remembers what the old king told him way back at the beginning. Always heed the omens. So he makes his choice. He's going to trust the vision. And this is a massive step for him. He's not just a shepherd boy following signs anymore. He's becoming a seer, with the responsibility to warn the people of the oasis.
You know, when he tells the camel driver what he saw, the guy isn't even surprised. He totally validates the boy's experience. He explains that seers aren't some kind of superpowered mystics. They're just ordinary people who've learned how to see the connection between something simple in front of them, like a flock of birds, and the great soul of the world.
So what's the big takeaway here? I think it's that this language of the world isn't just one thing. It's not just in books, it's not just in the desert. The boy learns it through books, sure, but also through the desert, through love, and by watching the flight of hawks. The point is the signs are everywhere, all around us. The real question is, how do you interpret the signs in your own life?